The space in and around the St. John's Bridge is really, really interesting. There's a lot of interesting energy here as well as intense energy. This part of town has a lot of people suffering in it, just like other parts of town, but it's different. There's something very different about the St. John's area. This is called Cathedral Bridge, and below me is a place called Cathedral Park. There's a lot of industrial stuff. St. John's has seen a little bit of the gentrification, but not as much as other parts of the city. So you'll see more Hispanics here. You'll see darker skinned people. In St. John's, it's less white dominant. But it's got a really heavy, hard, industrial, old world vibe to it, which is somewhat attractive and also a little overwhelming because it has light and dark aspects to it. And there's a major shift in energy crossing over to the west side, which is this right here. This is Forest Park, and Northwest Portland is in that direction, so is downtown Portland. Now, instead of going back to town, today I'm going to be taking a day trip to a city called, or a town, known as St. Helens. Now, a lot of you have heard about St. Helens, the volcano exploding in the year 1980. That was a couple months after my birth, also during a solar maximum time period. And so this is going to be a day trip. I'm going to hang out there for a few hours or a few days. Hopefully find an internet connection, maybe scope out some places to park. What I like to do is visit a place and hang out for a few days, then go to another space. If I hang out too long, I eventually start feeling drained. You know, I go to an area and I'm transmitting my vibe, my information, and I hang out too long in a certain area, it can be very taxing on the system. So, I'm not the healthiest person on the planet. I'm not the unhealthiest either. I do what I can with what I've got to work with. A lot of days I spend going without eating until evening. It's not that I'm not hungry, it's that sometimes I just don't want to spend money on food because of how much they're asking for it. It seems like it's burning money, which makes me a little uneasy about you know, I think people should have healthy spending habits, but also people got to eat. So when someone's home free, or they're traveling, or they're living out of their vehicle, it takes a certain amount of innovation, discipline, to live a healthy lifestyle. A lot of people don't live outside the box of the grocery stores or the McDonald's of this world. I do get my food from grocery stores. I do not eat at McDonald's, even if I eat there, even if I use their Wi-Fi. So this is Highway 30. I'm gonna flip off the camera here and focus on my driving. But it does get more green as you exit the city. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, there's a lot of pollution, a lot of trucks, a lot of industry along Highway 30. So it's a coexistence between industry and nature. And oftentimes I think that nature's suffering as a result. All along here is the Forest Park area, and even though it's a park and even though it's green, it's got a lot of really intense entrapped energies. And that's why I don't go on deep expeditions or retreats into Forest Park, you know, like tenting in it. There's something about it, and there's also something about a lot of people that do stay in Forest Park. A lot of them are going through some serious shit. But it is the poor man's survivalist retreat. In Portland, Oregon, it is Forest Park. And there are pockets of Forest Park where you can end up in, and you're not really seeing it, you're just seeing the edge of it. But beyond these homes, up into the hills, is the magnificent Forest Park, which is the largest park within any city limits in the United States. So Portland is number one when it comes to having a large park. It's just spooky, and I think that that has a lot to do with the removal of the Native Americans through disease that lived in this region before us. And pretty much that goes without saying. And I think that's the root of the creepy vibe that you're getting from some areas that you travel to, and it doesn't feel quite right. It's because nature's been dominated. Throughout my life, people have been offended by my words and have chosen to use the things that I say against me. I'm not going to give those people any real airtime in this video. But it's always been an issue, and it always will be an issue. And I'm removing all of those influences from my life. Those voices, those individuals that try to enter into my world, act like they're a friend, only to criticize the very things that I stand for.